we're screwed. What's up, welcome to the channel where I talk, you listen. I'm your host Anonymous, and today we're going to be talking about how screwed we actually are. Anime's gone full blockbuster, fewer seasons, more cinemas, but the price tag isn't just in its tickets, it's in the studio's sweat and the animators' tears. Let's talk about the good and the bad, about all of the changes in our anime world. Also, just in the world of cinema in general. Why are studios skipping seasons and going straight to the big screen? Why are all the studios doing this? Because movies equal spectacle, momentum, box office dollars, the cha-ching. For example, Demon Slayer's latest film, Infinity Castle, hit a budget around 20 million. And it grossed a staggering 659 million globally. It's making me sick. All of that money going to one place, being divided amongst subunits. Still, one place, getting all that money. My God, that's the kind of paycheck that turns heads. Why are you looking at me? I don't have that kind of money. And therefore, Chainsaw Man did the same thing. Instead of getting us season 2, Studio Mappa opted into a full-blown movie. Chainsaw Man the movie, Raziok. Which I must say, wasn't a bad film. That's not the issue here. The issue isn't that the film was bad or that the animation quality wasn't good, because obviously it was out of this freaking world. That's not the issue. My problem is that when you decide to do these things, we have a higher chance of... Okay, first off, we're not binging it anymore. We're just watching a film. The film was going to last like 130 minutes, if that, 103 minutes, I think. The point is, we start making all of the anime into movies, then we're going to see everything that we need to see within that 1 hour and 30 minutes, and then we go about our lives. But then you don't have anything to do later. I mean, today people are into binge watching things anyway. So, you know, they just binge watch the full season, then have nothing to do after that. But, I mean, I just feel like if you take your time with things, there is a little bit more speculation, a little bit more to talk about, because each week when things release that way, you tend to be like, oh my God, did you see what happened in this week's episode? There's more to talk about. It gives you longevity. We're taking away longevity. We're taking away episodes within a season. I mean, literally, South Park had like 5 episodes this season, and then they switched to a new season. What is happening here? I don't know. But again, it's not all bad. Because they decided to make Chainsaw Man into a full big budget movie, we got global push and a cinematic masterpiece. Movies allow for higher production quality, more polish, staring into the eyeballs of international box office potential, and fewer episodes to produce. The studio president of MAPPA said they'd rather maximize their business and reach as many people as possible by theoretical release instead of dragging out a season. So yes, this model is good for reach, good for hype, great for those of us who love watching giant explosions in IMAX. But again, let's flip it. Because while the studios rake in the records, the people drawing the frames suffer. They get crumbs. Japan's anime production committee system funnels most profits to planning, broadcasting, licensing, merchandising, not the people animating the cutscenes. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have no one left to animate because they're all going to be, worms. They're just gonna be shriveled up in the studio with no energy left. I mean, it's already bad enough that it's happening, but it's getting worse. Studios often only get 6% of overseas sales. Even as the anime market booms, the people doing the actual drawings are working 200 plus hours a month with pay that makes you question the anime dream big time. The United Nations even flagged the industry for the exploitation of freelance animators because many have zero labor protections. In other words, we are getting used, ladies and gentlemen, all across the board. While all of these studios are raking in the dollars, we are sitting here at home crying in the shower. And I mean that literally. For those of us who are animators, raise your hand. I've done a little bit of animating in my time, but I try not to do that too often anymore because it's a lot harder than people think. People who don't animate don't realize how many frames it takes to draw to get to a point where it looks like something is happening versus just it all coming together on its own. It's just not, it doesn't work that way. And so, yeah, you definitely want to pay these people more, but you don't. And that's the issue, right? But I really want to know what you guys think. And then, no, the video's not over quite yet. But I want you guys to go down in the comment section and tell me, do you think it's fair for most of the profits earned to go to the people in charge versus the people who are actually making these things day by day? And yes, of course, everyone should get paid. But I think that the people at the bottom do most of the grunt work and get paid the least. And so the pros and cons of this shift. Here's what works and here's what doesn't. The pros: the cinematic scale, the bigger budget, more visuals, global release, wider audience, better revenue, more merch. Faster story wraps or bigger arcs allow the studio to pivot quickly and keep momentum high instead of stagnating between seasons. But what if you miss the movie? You miss a whole season in an hour and 30 minutes. And at that point, once they release the second one, you can't really watch it without watching the first one. What if you don't like the movie? What if it's boring? What if the pacing isn't good? Well, then you're screwed, ladies and gentlemen. You're totally screwed. And we are. We have to stop allowing these people, these businesses, to control the masses. We are in control, ladies and gentlemen. We are the people that they are marketing to. And if you don't go see the movie, they don't get paid. So what will they have to do instead? They'll likely have to switch up the system again. Move toward more seasons. Try out the old thing again, Go back to seasons. And then we watch it and we get what we want. Unless this is what you want, of course. But also it allows them to jump around. I just feel like things move a little bit too quickly, and if you're not paying attention, you're gonna miss it. I don't think that this is the right direction. I do believe that we should continue to make anime movies, or movies in general, that go along with the series. Like, that's what they were doing already. At a point in time, we had movies that would come out that were either canon to the series or just kind of like filler or whatever, right? And that was fine. That gave the audience, the fans, more to look at, right? Because while you were waiting for the next season of the show, you had a movie that you could watch that either went along with what was happening in the story now or prior events, or it was just an entertainment value kind of deal. And that worked. I feel like that was what the business was. But now, since anime has become so mainstream and they're raking in the dollars, they want to rake in as much money as fast as possible for some reason. And because of that, they're taking all of the earnings and bleeding everyone dry. And so we're screwing ourselves. We're basically destroying the economy with all of this fast-paced nonsense that's going on. And I gotta tell you, man, it's gonna be another 2-3 years before we get another Chainsaw Man, and then it's gonna just breeze by with no time at all. There's not even any time for people to really value what they're seeing anymore. I mean, I personally have heard the words, and this is like across the board from like YouTubers in general, where like I will hear someone say specifically that I've just got this game and I've already beaten it. Like, you know, they beat the game in a week or a weekend so that they can talk about the game and get the views and all that kind of stuff, which is fine. You know, I'm not knocking anybody's hustle or anything. I'm just saying, like, you're really taking away the value of like the game. It's like you get a piece of cake and you eat it in one gulp. You're not really tasting it, you know. It's not savoring the taste of what you're actually consuming. You're just kind of breezing through it and moving on to the next thing, and that's part of the problem why no one has a sense to pay attention to anything anymore. Whatever. This is just what it is. I know. And so while it can be a good thing, it could also be a bad thing. But it's really up to you and your perspective. What you believe to be right is right for you. Or wrong. I don't know. I can't be the deciding factor for you. You have to decide for yourself. But if you have an opinion on what we're talking about, I mean, please let me know down in the comments section how you feel about movies being so in and seasons being so out. But basically, in a nutshell, this is them producing more for less. This is not the hero story we signed up for. This is highway robbery. And with Demon Slayer closing out the rest of its series with 2 more films, I think it's safe to say that this is the direction that they've decided to go in, and they will not be turning back anytime soon. So until then, we're pretty much f***ed, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit that like button, subscribe for more videos just like this. Be nice to each other out there. Show your boys some love and peace.